Hello, viewers. Today is Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. I'm here to share my thoughts and opinions on the results of the 2024 elections. Now it's kind of official that the Republicans have won the House as well. So now they have the trifecta. They have the presidency, the Senate, and the House as well. And in the House, at the end of the day, I think they will have probably a 3 to 4 seat margin in the House. But nevertheless, they have all three branches of the government at this time. So now, what does that mean? So we're going to have a single party government beginning January 2025. And I would like to discuss about some of the issues that Trump talked about and some of the things that he wanted to do right away, and how the Democrats should react to those bills and what should be their responsibility. So before we go there, most of you know that Trump talked about 3 or 4 specific things in the campaign. One was about illegal immigrants, and he said he was going to deport the illegal immigrants. That's number one. The second one, the most talked about issue, was how he is going to enact tariffs so that you can basically make sure that the countries that are exporting things to the US will pay their share. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. It is just the companies that buy from them pay those tariffs. But that's a different discussion. I will have a separate topic on tariff on a different day, on a different episode. But that's one thing he wanted to implement. And the third thing he really wanted to talk about was about tax cuts. He wanted to extend the tax cuts that's going to expire by end of 2025. That's another one. And the other thing that he talked about more frequently was about ending the war in the Middle East as well as in Ukraine. So these are possibly the top 4 or 5 items that Trump would like to enact after he takes the vote on January 20th, 2025. But nevertheless, before all this, there is a larger issue or the larger item that both Democrats and Republicans need to take care of, which is actually the budget for fiscal year 2025. As most of you know, that the fiscal year 2025 started on October 1, 2024. And right now, the government is being funded on what is called as a continuing resolution. And the continuing resolution is basically a DC talk. But what it means is that they are continuing the funding for all the departments based on the prior year budget. So there is neither an increase nor a decrease. And that's what this continuing resolution means. And this is going to expire by December 20th. So either the current Congress needs to pass a complete budget for the fiscal year 2025, and that will end on September 30th, 2025. That to me is going to be very difficult because the Senate is with the Democrats till January 20th, and the House is with the Republicans. So I don't think that they will pass what they call as an omnibus bill, which is basically a full budget for the fiscal year 2025. The other option is to basically extend this continuing resolution from December 20th all the way up to possibly end of January or end of February. By then, I think the Trump government would have taken shape, and they would like to pass a budget for the entire year from maybe March till September 30th. So that's another option that is more likely. So that is something that the Republicans are going to look at to see how they would like to approach this continuing resolution issue. So that is the first issue that the incoming Trump administration would like to address. So apart from that, as I mentioned, there are 4 or 5 items that Trump would like to take care of right away. So now the big question is, what should the Democrats do? So in my opinion, Democrats should try to play a role of a constructive opposition. They should not follow the model of the Mitch McConnel in the Senate, the Republican leader, who tried to kill any bill that came from the Biden administration or the Obama administration in 2010 onwards. So I would suggest that the Democrats take a more constructive approach in the sense that They are not for tariffs. Everybody knows that, but they can register uh, their uh, their viewpoint in the House and the Senate, but they should just let the Republicans go and pass that bill. Similarly, on tax cuts, everybody knows where the Democrats stand, but they have to basically make sure that they just go ahead and present their viewpoint in the House and the Senate, but they should not be a roadblock for the bills to get passed. The reason I'm saying that is because now we have a single party government, and it is very important that the single party government at least tries to at least further their agenda or their bills without any roadblocks, because that's the only way that the people will know whether these kind of bills that gets passed in the Congress are actually useful for them after 2 years, because the midterms are just 2 years away. And if Democrats have any chance of trying to make any gains in the midterms, they need to actually provide the contrast. They need to tell the people that these are the bills that were passed and these were the effects of the bill. It could be a positive effect, and Democrats might even lose the House once again in 2026. But still, politics is not always stagnant. It always moves, and political actions and the political reactions, and also people change over a period of time, especially if you have a single party government. And if things don't go well, then they will tend to blame the ruling party. But I'm not saying that these things will happen, but the Democrats cannot just be a roadblock, because that is not fair for the incoming administration. You have to give them a chance, and you have to let them pass the bill that they would like to pass, and let's see, let the chips fall wherever it may, and we can evaluate this after a year or two on exactly what kind of impact it has. In that way, Democrats can also focus on what they need to do as a political party, and also they need to look at where they need to invest. And as I mentioned on my prior episode, they need to go and invest in states like Ohio and Pennsylvania, Indiana, Michigan, and they should try to talk to the working class voters. They should try to find out exactly why they are not voting for them. And also they should go back and look at their strategy in Georgia and North Carolina, Arizona, Nevada, what went wrong there, how they can do better in the future. So this gives them an opportunity to basically let the Republicans run the show in Washington, D.C., pass whatever bills they would like to pass, and have a wait and watch kind of an approach. That doesn't mean they should not show their opposition to those bills. They can register their opposition to those bills in the House and the Senate, but they should not be a roadblock. And that's what I think should happen, so that at least the country will see exactly what kind of policy proposals are coming out, what kind of changes are coming out of Washington, D.C., and whether it affects people in a positive way or a negative way. That's the only way we can evaluate. So I think that is the most prudent approach in my view. And let's wait and see whether Democrats will follow that, or they're going to take this as, again, a politics as usual kind of a game, and try to say everything that the new government does is wrong, and then try to put a roadblock and try to use filibuster in the Senate to stop these kind of bills in getting passed. So that's it for me today. I will come back to you with another episode where I am likely to talk about each one of these issues and then I will tell you what I feel about each one of those issues, including the tariff issue. And that's it for me today. I'll come back to you with a different episode. Till then, take care.